You know, I used to think that you need a lot of content to rank with your webshop, but then I discovered the opposite is actually true. Most e-commerce brands produce way too much content and they rank for nothing. These might be brands that produce 3 or more articles per week, but they have no organic revenue whatsoever. So if you want to start with getting organic revenue, this is where you should start. So generally it makes a lot of sense to focus on bottom of the funnel content first. This is content that's directly related to the products that you're selling, because your customers want a solution, they're looking for something to get fixed, they want a desired outcome. This is the type of content that will address those questions. So it could be about pain points that your product solves. It could be about audiences. So let's say your products cater to a specific niche or specific buyer personas. This is content for this. Or you might say, okay, this could be features. So let's take an example. Let's use omega-3 fish oil as an example. A pain point that could solve would be something like joint pain. So it could help with alleviating joint pain. So you could say best fish oil for joint pain. That could be a good piece of bottom of funnel content. Or it could be best fish oil for seniors, or it could be best fish oil without additives. So that's not really a feature, but then in this case it's features or ingredients. With more tech-based products you could use features. With more supplements and health-related things it could be ingredients. So something like this would work. So I definitely start there. Create these types of content for your best sellers or your product categories that you want to focus on. Then it's important to know that Google looks at topical authority. So if I start writing about fish oil, they want to know, okay, who is this guy? What's his brand? Are they, do they have the credentials to talk about this? So this is where topical authority comes in. And you can strengthen this by not just writing randomly about various topics, but you want to write some piece of content. So these would be my visual representations of content. So let's say we have a bunch of blogs here, and then we want to make sure, this could be a bit longer, then we want to make sure that these have a strong internal linking. So if we write about fish oil, then this could be about the pain point, then this could be the blog about the seniors, and this could be about the freshness of the fish oil brand. It's not really the same topic, so this could probably be another topic. Then we want to make sure that these are related to each other. So when people go to Google or they go to ChatGPT and they ask questions about, okay, I want to find a fresh fish oil that will help me to support my joints, that you're then getting cited, that you're then showing up with these articles. And from these articles, we will then link to the products. So this is the last piece of the puzzle. We want to make sure that we have a strong hierarchy from product category pages to product detail pages and blog articles. These should work in a similar fashion as what I've drawn here, where if we have a category page that could link to various products, and then underneath we support that with a bunch of, let me just quickly do it like so, where we just have a bunch of articles. It's not really neat in this way, but I hope you get the gist. And then from these blogs we link back to, for instance, product pages, and we could even link back from product pages to the category page. So this creates a sort of strong internal structure where Google's like, wait a minute, this brand is really known for their fish oils and they help seniors with it. They have fresh fish oil, which is a USP. So whenever someone asks questions in Google or ChatGPT, they know what to answer, what you stand for, what your USPs are, what the use cases of your product are. That could also be bottom of the funnel content. By the way, these are just 3 examples. So pain points, the audiences, and features. This is where you would start with generating content for your webshop in order to get as much organic revenue as possible, and not just traffic and not just rankings. So start here. So that leads me to the last question: which bottom of the funnel content will you start producing first?